Hey, I'm John. Welcome to my podcast. You are listening to The Snout. Probably the first time we were ever officially known as The Snout after adopting the name. And when we were here last, I had started listening to this side of this tape. And I couldn't tell. I thought there was a big advancement, and maybe it was not in the right order. But in listening, going back, it fits right in here. I'm not saying this is really good, but it's together. This tape, yes, is from somewhere between the end of November or early December in 1997. On the tape here, it says... Acting Sober for Ed's Pet Lizard, which is just some dumb name I made up because I couldn't figure out what to call this. So, yeah. At this point, we're getting things together, you know. I will tell you that I have been spending days upon days digitizing tapes, digitizing, all this digitizing. I was obsessed. Get all this stuff on digital. And it turns out that just because it's so perfectly ironic, pretty much every single one of those digitized recordings is corrupted due to a bad chord connection. Hard to hear, but in one of the two stereo channels, there's a distortion popping thing. It's almost in every single one of them, and I'm not willing to go through them all and listen to the entire things and find out what has it and what doesn't. So I think I had 135 tracks digitized or somewhere in that range. That's the volume of work, and I wasn't even near done. All right, 135. I get to start all over, which is probably a good thing in a way, because once I figured out the chord issue, which I just didn't realize these recordings were as good as they actually are, the sound quality on these recordings improved amazingly. I mean, just crystal clear. And so even though I put in a lot of hours digitizing shit that's no good, I mean a lot of hours, the bright side is that anything new done is going to be much, much higher quality. Because not only did I resolve the chord issue, I decided to resolve the boom box issue. And yesterday, and you won't have any idea what day today actually is in this video, and it doesn't really matter, but I ordered a really nice Pile cassette player recorder, a deck, actual, nice stereo unit. And that should be here within a week, and then I'm going to start the process of doing this the goddamn right way. And then the other discovery was a stack of the quarter-inch reel-to-reel, 7-inch reels. I've got 7 of them. I knew I had them. I hadn't thought about them. Because they were recorded on the Tascam Studio 8, they can only be played back on, an 8-track machine. You can't play a multi-track tape even on a regular reel-to-reel player. You have to have special heads, and and there's a lot of stuff on that's solo stuff that it's really cool. I've forgotten it for so long. And so I'm reaching out. There's places you can get reel-to-reel digitized, and I'm going to look into getting that done too. So that's exciting. There's more stuff. There's a song I helped produce for another guy that turned out really cool. All right. So that's all happening. I've got a lot of work ahead of me, but I tell you what, I'm excited about it. I haven't been this excited about something in a long time, if you haven't noticed. All right. So this has been going on for a while, right? And although not well done, this is, turn that down, this is kind of representative of just how things got rolling. We got this going, no direction, got a drum beat going, Matt does little bass things, and we start just hitting on our instruments in time to beat and trying to keep, a couple of chords. And if you listen, we're pretty on beat. And Mike's guitar part is pretty solid. I mean, it's nothing fancy, nothing special, but he's hitting it. And of course, there are mistakes from everybody, but except maybe Matt. Matt's awesome. This is me moving around very simply and just experimenting with how to play along with music. Be kind of in rhythm, really, and for the first time, kind of finding a groove and just keep going, Now, early on, I'll be much more repetitive. I hadn't really started my slow crawl all that well, but it's coming along. All right, let's stop that and move forward a little bit. On this tape, that was Acting Sober for Ed's Pet Lizard, which actually means nothing. We're still moving. This next thing is called I Ain't Ever Coming Round Here Again. Let's see if we can get to it. Oh, no, that's still Ed. Or his lizard. I'm not sure which, but yeah. Let's see. Oh, listen to my keyboards. They're fitting in, They're nothing. But I was never a good keyboard player. But I found a way to start fitting in, and that was important. Was honestly the entire time we played together. I don't know if I ever really felt I fit in. So that's nice to hear myself thinking maybe I did a little bit. All right, let's get ahead here. Because let's see what's on here. Okay. I ain't ever coming round here again. And in listening, I determined that I was still using the Casio keyboard at this point. Very limited selection of options compared to the future. I was on Facebook and contacted by my brother's brother-in-law. I had sent him a link to some of our stuff on SoundCloud because he's an actual professional musician, knows music, and it's been hard to get actual professional musicians to engage with me. I sent it to people that I know music, and I don't get much of a response, but he got back to me and said he'd give it a listen and tell me what he thought. But he also told me that he came and played with us one night and that he played my Hawaiian steel guitar. I had forgotten that. So I'm going to having to listen very carefully to try to find the session that he was at, because when he mentioned it, then it all clicked back, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he was there. So that's another person that sat in with us, and we'll get to figure that out. So that'll be fun. Yeah, we're struggling there. We're really struggling there. Let's move forward a little bit. We got to play together for a little while. Part of me thinks that my keyboard style, especially here, is um, just me trying to find something that fits. And I never really do feel like I fit, so I just keep searching for something else that might. I don't know. That just crossed my mind. I don't know if it makes any sense or not, but yeah. All right, let's keep moving. All right, we're moving to something different here. I have written down here the origin of the Black Death, or the Black Plague. So this is, I played you Black Plague off another tape recently, I believe, or maybe I haven't played it yet. I'd have to look back and check. And Mike was just doing a little throwback to that Black Plague thing. But this is not that song. As you can hear on this day, Mr. Matt Ray, turn the bass up, does not have a bass amp yet. Wait till you hear him with a bass amp. Oh, you can hear the phone ring there. And I found that that happens, at least from what I've heard, like a half a dozen different songs over the years we did this, had phones ringing in the background. That was the day of landlines. See what Mike has to say. Okay. I don't know, but I was able to close my eyes and lose myself for just a moment. Like, we're still not a great band, not by any means, but this is happening. It's not good. but it's consistent. And I have started continually changing my little keyboard playing. Now, I don't have the ability to play my little keyboard things real intricately, but I'm on the beat. I'm adding little bits, changing it up, and this is the beginning of the style that came to be, at least mine. I mean, it was just plunk it away, keep figuring something out, and because it's free form, because we're staying within a couple chords, it's nearly impossible for me to hit a wrong note here. Now, what is very possible is to me to hit notes that are extremely out of time and just awkwardly played, like just don't fit and stuff. But if I keep within a certain little range of notes, I can piddle around as long as I'm not fucking with the time signature and just making it sound bad. I can play whatever I want. Just move it up a note, down a note, up a note or two, down a note, and it's a really, really casual and non-committal way to play. It's just like yeah, this sounds neat, but I want to add that. So this is the beginning of the Snout actually rooting around down in the muck and starting to feed a little bit and finding it's hungry. It needs a little more of this. And this became a thing, which you will find out, and it gets real interesting real quick. Because we're a year in, right? We're 1 year in. You saw we couldn't play anything. And now we're recording this. We need a bass amp real bad. But it's pleasant in its own way, you know? It's kind of a little jazzy. I never thought of myself as a jazz man, but maybe I turned out to be a freeform jazz keyboardist. I don't know, you know, because I don't know anything about music, and I can't really get anybody who knows music to talk about this with me. We'll see what happens. All right, let's move forward, because that's pretty cool. It's not, like I said, the playing, blah, boring, but sometimes it isn't about technical ability. It's about getting the little ability you have and using it in a new and creative way. So even if it doesn't blow anybody away technically, they might actually stop and go, "Oh, that's really weird. How'd they do it that way? And why is that working?" And it's less of a we want to impress you with our amazing technical skill, because we don't have any. There's not. I mean, Matt can play bass. Mike and I are both still struggling to really be any good at all. We're barely adequate to make this. Like I say every time, this is us at our very best at this point in time, you know. And there's a little something happening. Let's see what we got next on the tape here. We fast forward. So I think this may be the last. I think that thing is called That Sinking Feeling. Let's see. But it changed a little bit, right? Tell we're using shitty microphones here too. There's a hiss. I later learned to compensate for microphones, you know. Realized that really shitty little microphones can only be pushed so hard. So if you want it to be loud enough, you're going to have to do it in the mixing through the recording deck, because if you blow the levels on that microphone, you'll never get anything good out of it. So you have to play your amp really low, just low enough to drive that microphone as hard as it can be driven before it starts to distort. And you get that in the mixer and bring it up. But yeah, we had some really crappy mics. There should be a picture of them you've seen on one of these videos. All right, Let's see if that was the end, or I don't know if there's anything else here. You hear Nelson. That's funny. Well, let me see here. I think that is going to be the end of that tape. Let me see if we can't start moving into the next one a little bit. I've got to find the next one in the date range here. We were at 11:20. Oh. Let me just make certain here. Yeah, so I've got to jump ahead here to a tape that's marked 12:6, and I believe that says 12:8. The ink is faded. So I'm looking at this tape. It's the 12/6/97 has Stranger Than the Stranger, Tokyo, Montana Express, and Rasputin's testicles. Rasputin's testicles. I'm going to pop this in. And we're not going to get into this tape today, per se. I'm just going to get it in there, get it going, and use it to play out today. Because, we're at 23 minutes, and these things don't have to be 30 minutes. And we got through that side of the tape and got to hear the snout to start snouting. And that's a good thing, Oh, let me just see here. Oh, I got to rewind a little bit. So we can put you away. I need to take a photo of that cover so that we'll have that. So I'm going to get that out and set it out. Get ready to take a picture. And we are still rewinding. So like I say, I think now, especially over these next number of tapes, you're going to see the theme of showing up and producing a number of complete things. Whether they're good things doesn't really matter. They're all unique, they're all different, and they're all ad-lib, off the cuff, start to finish. And we do that every session then from now on here. We really start putting together things. Now, like I said, in the beginning, they're not great things, but we're experimenting with sound, style, and as we do it, everything else begins to improve more too. The playing, the recording. I mean, it all just becomes really, really cool. No, just waiting for that to finish rewinding. I thought it was almost there. It is there. All right, let's go ahead and hit play on that and see what we got. And this is the Snout from 12/6/97, doing Stranger Than the Stranger. Back to the Albert Camus novel.
Thank you.
The second take on The Stranger. I'm going to let you listen to this as we play out. You have been listening to episode 13. Episode 13 of The Snout, We Are a Band. My name's John Dundas, and I appreciate you hanging out. You can listen to the beginning of Stranger Than the Stranger by The Snout as we head for home today.